Hello everyone, I hope you're okay. Gary Waterman here, a former police officer and former acting sergeant. I was hoping I would not have to do this video, but it appears as though I'm being left with no choice but to do it to protect myself, but also to protect the interests of the public in terms of their finances. This is an incredibly serious matter, and as time goes on, it actually appears, now I'm not saying this lightly, that this could be a crime against humanity by the people that should be preventing such a crime being committed. It is so worrying. Now, I'm going to explain what I mean by that. You are going to be quite shocked by what I'm going to tell you, and some of the information I've been aware of for a while, but I've been having to release it at the right sort of time and in certain sections and certain information at certain times. Now, I think is the time where more information needs to be released. So I'm going to tell you a few things. It's a very complex matter. Please watch my other videos because that will hopefully help it make a little bit more sense. Sorry, some of them are long. I've not done these videos before this all happened. I'm really quite nervous about it, completely out of my comfort zone. So try and watch the videos, in particular the ones about the documents, because that all ties in with what I'm going to say anyway. I'm going to read some notes just to help me a little bit. It does appear as though all organisations and authorities that should be dealing with this are trying to brush it under the carpet and not doing the right thing in addressing this. That to me, and probably to you, only suggests that they are aware of it and know about it and are allowing potentially it to continue. That's what everything appears to suggest. So this all boils down to, now I'm a Christian man, so these are instilled in me, but this really does all boil down to morals, principles and values within the human heart and mind that are within us all. And on a very simplistic basis, we should all treat people how we would like to be treated, okay? So we would not like to be defrauded, we wouldn't like our families to be defrauded, so we should not be doing it to anyone else. It's as simple as that. I think everyone would agree with that. Those that don't stick by that basis and allow their greed or corruption to affect other people are going against their own moral conscience. And it is not good. Let's face it, we need a world where we have a foundation for truth, which then builds trust, hope, and faith in people and governments and police and the people that we should be relying on in society. That does not appear to be happening. I call on all of those. Now, there will be, most people within the police will not even be aware of this happening, okay? Most people in government may not even be aware of this and what's happening. So I call upon those individuals who agree with me that morals are at the core of this to stand up, talk to your bosses about this. Make it known that you've seen my video. Show them to your bosses. This cannot go on. Most people are good people and would not do this. I do believe and suspect that these are the people just at the top of these organisations involved in this. Hopefully not it certainly can't be everyone, because I was in these organisations and I was not involved in any way, and I would never want to have been, no matter how much money I might have got from it, because my morals are the most important thing to me. Okay, it's really important. So, just to summarise, what appears to have happened is that those involved in this have become so complacent they have allowed apparent forged bank documents to fall into the hands of somebody who is a non-corruptible former police officer who is also a Christian. It could not have been any worse for these people. Now, those bank documents appear to have been produced by a member of staff from Lloyds Bank. And worryingly, it appears that certainly members of Dorset Police appear to have allowed, twice in an email, they've documented this, an immunity for those bank employee or that bank employee to produce these fake documents. Now, if you and I were to be involved in producing any fake documents that are used in any fraudulent activity, we would undoubtedly be pulled up on it, pulled into question, and risk being prosecuted. When I was a police officer, we used to go to very minor jobs where somebody had forged a signature on a cheque. We would attend and deal with this. Why aren't the police? Well, I think we're trying to realise now why the police aren't, and we realise why they're not dealing with it, because it is so huge. Okay. Now, if this is all true, and it appears to suggest, and I'll come on to in a minute, this is all true, that the banks are producing the documents and organisations, authorities that should be involved in stopping it are allowing it, this could be defrauding the public by billions. I mean, we're talking billions, I think now, if not even more. It could even be being used, and we'll come on to it in a minute, for fraud in relation to public financing and public spending and taxation and things like that. It is so vast. So that's a brief summary. It's so significant, as it appears to be the case. So let's just move on. I'm going to show you some documents. You're going to be quite shocked. We must remain rational, calm, and collected in all of this. All right. Some people are going to be angry about what I'm going to tell them, whether it be at me or at the organisations that appear to be involved. Let's just remain rational, calm, collected. It doesn't help anyone getting angry about this. We need to allow the government to respond to this. They need to make a public address. That's what we need them to do first. Okay. So let's just keep rational, calm, collected. Okay. I'm not angry at these people, believe it or not. And my Christianity helps me to not be angry. It just seems that they have been tempted by greed and corruption, which has blinded them from their moral integrity. That's what's happened. I'm not angry at these people. I'm sad about it, and it breaks my heart, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to show you some documents, and I'll explain. So this is a Companies House record, okay, from my company. So I am still a shareholder for Exbourne Manor Freehold Limited. I was a director, but the other shareholders removed me quite overwhelmingly. Now, if you look at our incorporation documents, it's linked to Swift Incorporations Limited, okay, and below there's Jordan's Limited, okay, of an address in Bristol. Please remember that. It is very significant. Anyone can look at this. It's on our Company House records. If you go into filing, and go to the very first document, you will find this document, okay? Now, remember, Swift Incorporations Limited. Now, bear with me. Hopefully I did this wrong. It's another long video. I don't know how I can make this any more simple. Now, this is a Daily Echo article, okay? Now, the Daily Echo... Sorry, there's a hair on the screen. Dog hair. The Daily Echo are a Bournemouth... media company, newspaper, and they cover articles in Bournemouth and Dorset. Okay, and I'm going to read this to you. And this was on the 21st of, where's the date? 21st of September this year. Sorry about the wobbly screen. It says, the headline is, Initiative Property Management Sparks Economic Crime Investigation. Okay, I'll read you this part. Initiative Property Management based in Branksome is under investigation for fraud by the police. Dorset Police has said it has received a number of reports relating to the company which operates in the BCP, that's Bournemouth, Christchurch, Poole area in Dorset, areas and parts of the south. Detective Inspector Andrew Kennard of the Economic Crime Unit said it is the early stage of investigation and preliminary inquiries are underway. I'd like to point out I have only, all I've done is blanked off advertisements from this article and scaled it down into a document so you can see it. So basically we have an article by the Daily Echo with Dorset Police name on it, suggesting that this company is involved in potential fraudulent activity, and they are a management company. Bear in mind, all of my reports, if you've seen my videos, it all stems from management company issues in relation to the building that I am a shareholder for. Okay, so remember that. Now, there has been 4 articles in the Daily Echo about this. 4 articles, okay? This is the latest one that I've seen, and this is on the 30th of September. Now, remember, Initiative Property Management, okay? The police have had all of the reports, Dorset Police have had all of the reports about my crime, and the same inspector, Inspector Kennard, has been involved in that investigation, but they have still filed my crime as no further action. And now I provided significant evidence of fraud to them and explained it all in detail. I've done an over 72,000 word statement. Serious fraud officer are aware of this. The Independent Office of Police Conduct are aware of it. Dorset Police are aware of the main points of the crime, and I've showed them in detail where the fraud is. They've even sent me an email, the Professional Standards Department, where once I made a complaint, even sent an email saying Dorset Police had identified fraud, and then it was explained to me that they could not confirm whether they had or had not identified fraud. It's very confusing. You need to look at the other videos. However, the basic principle is Dorset Police and the Daily Echo have put their name all over this article in relation to Initiative Property Management. And they're aware, Dorset Police are aware of my investigation. Now, this is all relevant, and this is where things will get very interesting. Now, as you know, I've been putting things on TikTok. Hopefully many of you have seen that. These are some comments from TikTok. Now, I do not know these people. I've blanked off to try and protect them. I've blanked off their names. I do not know them. Yeah, I have no connection anyway to these people. And these are the people that are commenting on my videos. Now, if you look here, we have connections. People are suggesting, okay, at the moment I do have no connection. I haven't looked into it that much. Apparently Birmingham Council are linked to Swift Incorporated Limited. Please remember this, okay? So Swift Incorporated Limited. People involved with Swift Incorporations Limited. Okay, there's lots of mention of this. There's also mention here of a bank in Zurich in relation to the Can Company house fraud. Okay, Swift Incorporates Limited. Over here, you can see that council tax, people here have suggested there's connections to council tax, etc., etc. Corporate and corporate councils with no proof of liability. Okay, so lots of people are coming on here, contacting me through my videos, suggesting these connections. Now, I've known about what I'm going to tell you for a little while, but the timing is only relevant now. So, Initiative Property Management. Okay, if we look into their company house records, anybody can do this. You can type in Initiative Property Management Limited and it will bring you up with their company house records. Okay, you can see within those records there is somebody called Stephen Greeny. Again, I'm not doing anything wrong here. This is public information. If you go into Stephen Greeny and then go into Sandling Management Company Limited under his name, you will find that there is a link to, at the bottom here, Swift Incorporations Limited. Okay? Quite a while ago, but there is a link. Is that a coincidence? I'll let you draw your own conclusions. It gets even more interesting. So, this is the company, don't forget, that Dorset Police and the Daily Echo have been providing. They've done 4 articles in relation to this very recently, and many of them are headlines and breaking news articles. Now, if you look on Company's House record at Swift Incorporations Limited, okay, there we go, Swift Incorporations Limited, and this is the next page, okay. Now, they were incorporated in 1985. Where's the date? Anyone could look at this, as I've said, if you look on Company's House records. There you go, 85 at the bottom there, just where my blurry pen is. Okay, they were incorporated then. However, now, if you look, oh, another dog here. 29th of August. Okay, look here, 29th of August, shaky hand. You've got a PDF document, okay, and that relates to application to strike the company off the register. So this company, at that date, bearing in mind it's very recently, and all of this is going on, we have the articles going out in the Echo, I've been putting videos publicly, they're trying to dissolve the company. Okay, now here is the application for the dissolving of the company. Swift Incorporations Limited, okay. They are the ones, they are trying to dissolve their company. Okay, anyone can look at this on the Company's House records. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so, but I'll let you draw your own conclusion. There's a company called Vistra Trust Company Limited linked to that application for dissolving. Okay. Now, during my time, or my inquiries, okay, as a director for the management company, I made 4 links, apparent links, to Bournemouth Football Club, okay, AFC Bournemouth Limited. Those links were the acting chairman who resigned when I wanted to look at the bank accounts, the actual bank accounts, and he resigned as a result. Very shortly afterwards, he worked for AFC Bournemouth Limited. Okay, connection 1. Connection 2, one of the leaseholders, okay, not a shareholder, who owns a flat within the block of flats that my freehold company relates to, appears from the accounts to have paid no service contributions whatsoever into the company. So they hadn't paid anything towards the building, as it appeared. Now, I liaised with that person, and he told me he works as a referee for AFC Bournemouth Football Club. Okay. Now, during a conversation with him, he also disclosed that the previous acting chairman had approached him whilst at AFC Bournemouth Football Club, that they had never met, but that this gentleman had approached him and said and explained, sorry, the issues with me coming along and me wanting to look at the bank accounts and that chairman resigning as a result. Now, that referee stated that he felt, even though he'd never met that chairman, previous chairman apparently, he was very sorry for what had happened and he wanted to become part of the board of directors again. Now, obviously, I was very concerned about this and I didn't want that to happen because he didn't want me to look at the accounts and it was becoming very apparent that there was fraud in relation to them. Now, I also made a connection that the gardener for the block of flats worked for AFC Bournemouth Football Club, okay, as a groundsman. Third connection. Fourth connection. Walked around the corner from the block where it is, and there was an AFC Bournemouth football van, okay, identical to the one that the previous chairman who resigned drives for AFC Bournemouth, and this was parked within the grounds of another block of flats through the barriers of the building, and that block of flats is managed by the same management company who was managing our building at the time. 4 connections, okay? Everybody said it's a coincidence, just by chance. Okay, so there's 4 potential employees now linked to my building, okay, where potentially, and it appears that serious fraud is related. Now, if you look into the AFC Bournemouth Limited Company House records, okay, you will find this. Again, anybody can look into this, you will see it. Now, around 27 names down, if you go into the people section, there is a gentleman called Stephen Michael Sly, okay? Now, if you go into his records, you will find a company called Ocean 53 to 55 Management Company Limited. If you go into that, you will see that there is a connection to Initiative Property Management Limited, the same company that Dorset, the Daily Echo, has been publicising 4 articles on that I'm aware of, and that Dorset police appear to be involved in the investigation. Is that a coincidence? I'll let you decide. Now, this is an article from The Inside. I've had to redact the sections of some advertisements. Now, this is an article in May 2022, you can see there. And this is an insider.uk article, and it relates to staff and shareholder complaints dominate Lloyds AGM. So Lloyds were having an annual general meeting, and somebody came along, this gentleman, David Leahy, which you'll see in a minute, and it basically relates to him and various other people trying to show that Lloyds Bank appear to be involved in fraud, okay? Now, I don't know what evidence they have. I don't know exactly what they've been looking into. But the headline is for this, or the section down says, the victims of historic fraud cases have called on the banking group to set aside £3 billion to remediate victims, following complaints by other shareholders in question. Oops, sorry. Oh, this is the next page. The board of Lloyds Banking Group have been handed a letter calling them to act on evidence alleging fraud and to set aside around £3 billion in remediation. Okay, CID were involved. Okay, so please remember that. This is back in 2022. As you've already seen, we have the Guardian article. I've done it on my other, on another video. So this article relates to Operation Meadows. Now this is dated, you can see, June 2022. It's a month after that last article, okay, by The Insider. Now, this is an article by The Guardian saying that a huge amount, vast amounts of compensation were being considered to be given by Lloyds Bank Group to victims' companies in this case, okay? Lloyds set aside £790 million last year for costs relating to the HBOS Reading fraud. Now, this is HBOS, I believe, according to this article, is a part of the Lloyds Banking Group. Vast amounts of compensation. Now, the next bit you're going to be quite shocked. Now, I am not going to disclose who has contacted me, okay? But somebody in relation, in fact, several people in relation to these articles and those trying to get compensation for victims of their fraud have been contacting me since I put my videos out. Now, they turned around, and I spoke to them the other day on the phone. I'm not going to disclose who I spoke to, okay? And they said that the heads of most organisations and authorities appear to be involved in this fraud. Now, I don't know what they know. I don't have proof of what they've told me. I'm just telling you what they've told me. They said that the head of the Metropolitan Police is aware that Lloyds Bank are producing fake documents and that they're allowing it to happen deliberately. They said that there are magistrates judges, accountants, solicitors, all aware of it and all appearing to try and cover it up. They also explained that the head now, the head of Lloyds Bank, apparently, I do not know this for a fact myself at all. Apparently the head of Lloyds Bank is in some way connected to the finances of the royal family. Okay. They also told me that every organisation or agency that appears to be there for the public to report the fraud to are actually there to cover it up and hide connections potentially in relation to this fraud, connecting it to everything I've talked about. Now that Action Fraud is who I've been reporting to, the Serious Fraud Office I've been reporting to. Action Fraud haven't done anything. I've had no correspondence other than them phoning me saying, oh, you're a victim, are you okay? Is there anything we can do for you as a victim? Well, yeah, you can make sure this is dealt with properly. Serious Fraud Office have refused to deal with it. Now, I am putting everything on the line in providing this information. My life is quite possibly in danger. I'm hoping the more information I give, the less I'm in danger. I possibly could lose everything from this, okay? I could lose my home in the building that we're referring that it all stems from. I could lose everything, but I must do what is right, because if there are innocent victims being defrauded, as appears to be the case, I cannot sit back and let that happen. My morals are too strong. So I'm giving this information anyway. Now, the people that phoned me, they also said, now, if this is actually happening, okay, and this is mass fraud by those that should be preventing it, then you will be having personal effects and trauma to innocent people on a very human level. And they explained that they are aware of specific stories where people are committing suicide over this, okay? Children are committing suicide, adults and children are committing suicide over this. Children are harming themselves over this. People are turning to drugs over this. It's undoubtedly all going to be connected. If this is happening, a crime against humanity by the people that should be protecting us, okay, it's going to be affecting the cost of living. People are killing themselves. Children are killing themselves, according to this. I've no personal connection myself proving that. Families will be breaking up. Okay, people will be being defrauded and trying to get help, and they are being turned away because it appears everyone is actually involved in trying to hide it. Now, I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I don't know where this is going to lead, but I know that the truth must prevail. And I know that there will be lots of innocent people in all of these organisations that probably know nothing about this. They will not be involved. Some will be involved, probably. They need to speak out. They need to do the right thing. They are allowing this to happen. It needs to stop. Okay, we're talking a direct effect through this on victims that are probably not even aware they are being victimised. And I have fallen upon the apparent evidence of it all. Now, I don't think that's by chance. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think there's a reason I've been given this information. I have to act on it. So I ask all of those who are in these organisations, ask the questions, okay? Look at the evidence that I've provided. Some of you will know me personally. You will know, okay, I'm a bit annoying sometimes, but I always tried my best in the police for the people. I was always honest, integral, and tried to do my best and held my values true. Please do the right thing, okay? We need the government to address this. It cannot go away. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I have all of this information for a reason. It's all out to the public now. We need something to happen. Now, please, I ask again, I turn to the government, please act on this, make a public statement. Okay, nobody in the public needs to get angry and you know, respond in a way that is irrational. We need to allow you and give you the chance to make a statement about this, and that is the right thing for you to do. And then this needs to be investigated. My case needs to be investigated. If the banks are involved and other people involved, so be it, okay? But we need a foundation for trust and hope in the government and in everyone. So please do the right thing, and let's just look into it and get this done properly. It's made me so really frustrated and sad, and lots of people will be feeling the same. And that's why I'm doing this, for the truth to come out. Anyway, I'm talking too much. God bless you all, and thank you for listening.